Let us continue with our discussion on ancient history of India. And today our topic is India after Mauryas. So till now we had discussed Indus Valley civilization, the Vedic period, pre-Mauryan period and the Mauryan Empire also. Now we will move with India after Mauryas. And this period spans between 200 BC to 300 AD. So let us start with India after Mauryas. So this is a map of the Mauryan Empire. This is the map of Mauryan Empire, and we are going to discuss what all changes happened in the Indian subcontinent after the Mauryans. So the sources from which we got these details are: first one is Gargi Samhita, second is Mahabhashya of Patanjali, which is a commentary on the rules of Sanskrit grammar. Next is Divyavadana and Malavika Agnimitra. Malavika Agnimitra is written by Kalidasa, and this tells about King Agnimitra who fall in love with a dance student Malavika. And the next is Harsha Charita, which is written about the king Harsha by Bana. And the next is Milind Panha. So these are the sources from which we got the history of post-Mauryan Empire. So after the Mauryan Empire, the next dynasty was Shunga dynasty, which lasted from 185 to 74 BC. So we know that the last Mauryan ruler was Brihadratha. He was slain by Pushyamitra Shunga, and he started a next dynasty called Shunga dynasty. But the Shunga dynasty was able to control only some parts of the Mauryan Empire. Mauryan Empire was a huge part, as we have seen in the map. It was a greater area, but the Shunga dynasty was able to capture only part of the empire. And Pushyamitra Shunga belongs to a Brahmana family from Ujjain. He was the Brahmana general in Brihadratha's court. He slain Brihadratha and took the control. He revived the Vedic practices. That is, by Ashoka's policy of Dhamma, the Vedic practices were discouraged. But when Shunga came to power, he revived all the Vedic practices. As we can imagine, he belongs to a Brahmana family. He started, some details gives that he started persecuting Buddhists. He was against Buddhism. And the last ruler in this dynasty was Devabhuti. Devabhuti was the last ruler in Shunga dynasty, and he was overthrown by Vasudeva, and a next dynasty came. So the Shunga dynasty was started by Pushyamitra Shunga, and its last ruler was Devabhuti. So here we have the list of rulers of the Shunga dynasty. The important ones are, of course, Pushyamitra Shunga, who founded the dynasty, Agnimitra. That is, we can see the story of Agnimitra in Malavika Agnimitra, written by Kalidasa. And the last ruler was Devabhuti, who fell victim to Vasudeva, and a new dynasty came from there. This is the map of Shunga dynasty. As we know, Mauryan Empire was extended over these much areas. But now the Shunga dynasty is concentrated only in this much areas. That is, they were able to capture only a part of the Mauryan Empire. The rest was divided into smaller kingdoms. So this is the map of Shunga dynasty. And the next dynasty which came was Kanva dynasty from 74 to 28 BC. It lasted for a very few years only. And the founder was Vasudeva, the Brahmana minister of Devabhuti. Vasudeva founded the Kanva dynasty, and he started a new line of rulers called Khanwa. It lasted for only 4 generations. That is, in this years we can see from 74 to 28 only. Lasted for 4 generations only. And the last ruler of the Kanva dynasty was deposed by the Andhras, or better known as Satavahanas, in the Deccan. They deposed the last Kanva ruler and the dynasty came to an end there. This is the map of Kanva dynasty, which was even shorter than the Shunga dynasty. And here we have the 4 empires of the Kanva dynasty, and Vasudeva was the founder. So Kanva dynasty was a smaller kingdom. They were deposed by Satavahanas or Andhras. So now we will discuss on Satavahanas or Andhras, who established their kingdom in 128 BC till 121 AD. So the Satavahana kingdom was in the Deccan region. In the map, we can see the Satavahana kingdom was in the Deccan region. And the Satavahanas deposed the last Kanva king Vasudeva. They built up their kingdom in Deccan. They are also known as Andhras. And Satavahana is founded by Simukha. The founder of Satavahana dynasty is Simukha. And they are known for making viharas in Ajanta. In the Ajanta caves, they had made some viharas in the first phase of Ajanta caves. That is all about Satavahanas. So their region was in the Deccan. Next, in the same period, in south, there were 3 major kingdoms. They were the Chera, Chola and Pandya. That is, Chera was in the present day Kerala region, and Chola was in the Kaveri region, and Pandya in the peninsular region. So Chera, Chola, Pandya were the 3 major powers in the south during that period. Now we will move to the northwest India. Northwest India, most important development was migration of foreign powers from the northwest and central Asia. So in the northwest region, foreign powers migrated from northwest region and central Asia. So the first among them were the Indo-Greek or Bactrian. The first among were Indo-Greek or Bactrians. So the Bactrians came from Balkh region in northern Afghanistan. So they came from the Afghanistan region, Indo-Greek or Bactrians. In the 2nd century BC, they occupied northwest India as far as Madurai. They occupied their kingdom up to Madurai in the 2nd century. And the list of 39 kings and 2 queens are given in history. And Indo-Greeks were the first to issue coins with name, title and portrait. That is a picture, with the picture of the ruler. So they were the first to issue coins with name, title and portrait of the ruler who is issuing the coin. And they brought the Hellenistic art in India, which later helped in the forming the Gandhara art. So they brought the Hellenistic art. Menander of Milinda was one of the famous ruler of Bactrians or Indo-Greek. He was converted to Buddhism by Nagarjuna. And this story, this is given as a play in the book Milinda Panha. That is, the conversion of Menander or Milinda to Buddhism is given in Milinda Panha. So the first migrated power to the northwest was Indo-Greek or Bactrians. This is the Bactrian kingdom. So that one which given the purple color is the Bactrian kingdom in the west. The next power who migrated to the northwest was Shagas or Scythians. Shagas or Scythians. So they attacked Bactria and occupied it. They are nomadic tribe from the Central Asian region. They were from the Central Asia. They attacked Bactria and occupied it. They moved from Bactria, invaded Iran and Greek kingdom in India. They invaded the Greek kingdom in India. Rajadiraja and Maharaja were the titles in the Shagas dynasty. In the Shaga kingdom, they used the titles like Rajadiraja and Maharaja. So the next is the Parthians, who were simultaneous with Shagas. Parthian rule was simultaneous with Shagas. They actually originated from Iran. Parthians originated from Iran. That is, they ruled in the same period when Shaga was ruling in the northwest. So, one of the most important ruler of Parthians was Gondophares. Gondophares. To his court, St. Thomas came, and from him, India got engaged with Christianity. So, St. Thomas the Apostle came to the court of Gondophares, who is a Parthian king. So here we can see the Indo-Scythian kingdom or the Shagas. The next were the Kushanas. Kushanas were actually tribal people which include the Ekchis or Tocharians. They were people who were lived in the vicinity of China. So by the construction of the Great Wall of China, these tribal peoples flew from there to the northwest. And Kujla catfishes united the 5 tribes of Yakchis and established at Kabul and Kashmir. So he started the Kushana Empire by uniting the 5 tribes of Yakchis who were from the vicinity of China. And one of the Kushana ruler, Vima Kadphises, issued the gold coin for the first time, which was the greatest innovation in this period. So Vima Kadphises issued gold coins for the first time in India. He was succeeded by Kanishka I, who is the most popular ruler of the Kushanas, Kanishka. He ascended to the throne in 78 AD. That is the same year which marks the beginning of Shaga era. Shaga era also started in the 78 AD. In the same era, Kanishka ascended to the throne. His capital was Peshawar. Capital of Kushanas was Peshawar. And he also got converted to Buddhism. And he patronized the art and Sanskrit literature. That is, he was the protector of art and Sanskrit literature. Kanishka also converted to Buddhism. So the point to remember is Vima Kadphises issued gold coins and the capital of Kushanas were Peshawar. And one of the most important king was Kanishka I. This map shows the region of Kushana Empire. That is, this is the Kushana Empire. Thank you for watching this video. So we had discussed in this video about the post-Mauryan period, that India after the Mauryan period. So we had changed what all changes came in the north, in the south, in Deccan region and in the northwest region also. So in south, most prominent powers were Chera, Chola, Pandya. In south, in Deccan, Satavahana came, that is the Andhras, and in northwest, many migratory kingdoms came. That is, Bactrians came, that is Indo-Greek, and the Scythians or Shagas, Pratiharas, and then the Kushanas also. So this is what we had learned all about post-Mauryan period. So thank you for watching this video, and for more videos, please subscribe to this channel, General Studies.